Friends, countrymen, Romans, my name is Arthur Perkins, and I accidentally deleted all the overlays for this show. I've attempted to recreate them to the best of my ability, but I won't know if they work until we see them, so let me know if there are any problems. Speaking of problems, there may be several problems throughout the show. My computer is in the process of doing a backup at the very same time that the show's going on. I thought it would take several minutes. In fact, it's going to take about 4 more hours, so it won't end until the show's over.
Backup?
Yeah, I'm uploading all of my overlay files, all of the fan art that's ever been done, and all of my PDF tabletop RPG stuff to a USB drive, which I'm then going to seal in a box and not touch unless I need it.
4 terabytes of waifus doesn't go fast, Arthur.
I'm telling you, man, I didn't copy the waifus, and that's what's making it possible. That's what's making it possible.
Nice.
I would need to get a actual drive instead of a USB stick. I'd need to get a drive to copy the waifu folder over. That's all I'm saying about that. For those of you watching on YouTube, for the next week live, and today is the 1st of the 5th month, I'm throwing it in Twitch chat now. It's also in the description section on YouTube. It's a Google form for the future of my shows. I want to hear from the public. What are they interested in? Vote for as many options as you'd like. There currently is a 3-way tie. 3 of them have pulled way out ahead of all of the others. I'm actually shocked at the order that they're in. And one of them I'm shocked is even being considered by the public. So, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm not on the pulse of channel anymore. I need to know what people think.
I wanted to see the results.
You can't see the results. I'll publish the results afterwards, but you can't. Don't try to cheat. You're like, I'm gonna vote for whatever's popular.
No, I voted, but I wanted to see what the
I'll publish them
results
later.
I think I have a feeling I know which couple are out ahead. Can I make a guess?
Yeah, you can make a guess. I won't confirm or deny.
I want to say VTM. That's always been popular. Every time I've done a vote with what should we do next, VTM.
I'm gonna throw this out to you. VTM is currently in last place.
Whoa!
Really?
It has almost no votes.
Okay, well I just voted for it, so. And I guess the other one would be Cyberpunk.
I'm gonna guess Pendragon is up there.
Yeah, I can see that.
Probably Cyberpunk is up there, yeah. Game of Thrones might be up there as well.
Oh, God.
Let me tell you something, friends. No spoilers, but I watched Sunday nights Game of Thrones, and then Monday morning I watched Avengers Endgame. That was like the wildest fucking 24 hours of entertainment I've ever had in my life. That shit was just like, I came out of the theater and I was like, oh, it's so bright out, I can't see anymore. Oh, what is life?
3 hours without wanting to pee, Arthur?
3 hours without wanting to pee. Yeah, exactly.
I can't understand why people had problems with that shit. Like,
you go to the bathroom before you get to the theater, and then you don't drink a bunch of shit while you're there.
I can go most of the day without pissing my pants.
All right, you know what, Dave? I used to be a camel like that.
Most of the day?
But I want to point out, I drink
most of the time. I do not piss my pants.
I drink 10 liters of water a day now, man. That shit is wild.
Yeah, I drink a stupid amount too.
Man, I've been reducing my water amount.
Well, it's hard to get up there in Canada with it being frozen all the time.
You know, speaking of Canada,
have to boil it. It's annoying.
if you watch me on Twitter at all, on the 28th, we got like 3 inches of snow. It's gone now, but we had snow on the ground on April 28th.
so I have a cruise guy, and that is someone who sets up cruises for you. They try to get you the best deals. And my cruise guy, I'm like, don't call me unless a certain threshold is hit. And lately, I keep lowering the threshold down. I'm like, all right, I don't want to know anymore. I need a cruise really badly. I need a fucking vacation, but I can't just upend my life now. Unless you reach this level of savings, I don't want to hear about it. Last week he hit me with something and I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to say no, but I'm real close. And now he's like, oh yeah, what if I give you an even better offer? I was like, what? And he's like, Canada for $4.99 1 week. And I was like, okay, I'm thinking about it now. So I'm thinking Halifax.
Wait. Hang on. You're doing a whole cruise, and that's like everything's paid for on the cruise, like, and all expenses paid for cruise.
So all expenses paid. You still have to
$500.
pay for port fees, which is like another $200. But yeah, you get a week's vacation on a floating hotel with 4 cruise stops and, you know, literally everything provided for you.
When you say everything, is it like scheduled meals, or can you
No,
just go
you can eat
rock up
anytime.
and be like, I'm gonna eat all the bacon?
I mean,
want?
yeah. So look, there's a buffet on every cruise ship basically that's open 24/7, and they have unlimited bacon. I've been on some cruises. One time it ran low on bacon, and they pulled into the port and just bought the entire bacon supply.
Fuck, dude.
They literally bought like thousands of pounds of bacon because they have to have like 3 months of provisions on board to, you know.
Okay, so you're paying $700 for a week's worth of just
Bacon.
gorging yourself.
Well, you can get meals at places other than
course
Bacon-topia at the buffet, Dave. You could go to like steakhouses or Brazilian steakhouses.
What about alcohol? What's the situation there? Are you allowed to drink as much as you want?
You can get an unlimited alcohol budget thing, but I normally just pay for drinks, and I really don't drink that much in the first place.
Dude.
I think for like $185, you can get unlimited drinks per day. Something like that.
Wait. You have to pay $185 a day?
A day, yes. For unlimited drinks.
I could kill $185 with alcohol in a day. Whether I can do that for 7 days straight.
You get the right kind of whiskey. You could do that on a single glass.
Yeah, that's 4 cocktails in New York.
Yeah.
So they have
like,
some of these almost every cruise ship has a movie theater. Some of them have actual theaters with plays and musicals. I went on one that had a Cirque du Soleil in it, that had nightly performances on the water while the ship was rocking. That shit was fucking wild, man.
So wait, does the ship rock?
Well, it's a ship and it's on the ocean. So,
but
yes.
it's a cruise ship, right?
Yes, so they have something called stabilizers that slow the ship down, but in the process keep it from rocking back and forth. But they withdraw the stabilizers during the daytime when it's in international waters and they need to go full speed.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty bad on boats. That's the only reason I haven't gone on a cruise yet. I'm pretty bad on boats. So.
My folks go on cruises all the time. I'm like, the only one I'm going to go on is 70,000 tons of metal.
Just get the unlimited alcohol and like lean into the the boat tipping.
So I have a extremely rare medical condition where I don't get seasick until I get off the boat, and then like the next day all of the seasickness that could have hit me for like 3 or 4 days afterwards, it's a fucking nightmare zone.
Holy shit.
But I go into it every time knowing it's going to happen. And even worse is that if you use the stuff for seasickness, it doesn't prevent it once you're back on land. Right?
Can you do it when you get on land? Can you just like...
No. Nope.
Oh, what?
That's just that virus that everybody gets when they're on a cruise ship. You just get sick later. That's all.
No, what you're talking about, I've never gotten sick on a cruise ship. I've seen people die on cruise ships though. That's actually really common.
Yeah.
You mean like old people who go there and just retire on a boat?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
One time someone killed themselves because they proposed on the cruise ship. So imagine this, man. You bring your girlfriend on the cruise. You aren't sure whether she's going to say yes to the proposal. You propose. She says no.
You're stuck on a boat.
You're stuck on a boat in the same room for the rest of the cruise.
Oh.
Yikes. Yeah, they had to call in a helicopter from Mexico to come pick the guy up off the cruise ship.
Nah, she'll just stay with the captain, bro. It's cool. They'll cover that.
No, I mean, he was dead. He killed himself, so they needed a helicopter to remove the body. Should have just stayed with the captain? Okay.
The lady will stay with the captain. Don't worry. It's a dumb
Wow.
joke.
Wow. Wow, Dave. That went in a different direction. All right. So anyway, I'm looking into it. I mean, if I go on this cruise, it's on the 11th to the 18th. So I think we'd have one more episode before I have to make that decision whether I'm going or not.
What would you do? But what do you do on a cruise?
I want to tell you what I'm going to do on this cruise. For the last 2 weeks, I've been sleeping 4 or less hours. On the cruise, I might be awake for 4 hours, and that will be 100% bacon consumption time. Then I'm going to go back to sleep, and I might get off the boat at Halifax, because Halifax is beautiful and wonderful. I'm not getting off at Port. First off, let me tell you about Portland, all right? I stopped in Portland. I got a very nice donut, but it was a $3 donut. You know what a $3 donut tastes like? It's not much better than a regular-ass donut. I was like, oh, everyone in Portland talks about these lobster rolls. They're like, the lobster rolls are the best. I ate a fucking lobster roll there. It was $17. It tasted like cold lobster slathered with mayonnaise on a cold bun. It wasn't even the best lobster I ever had. It was just like some regular ass non-warm lobster without butter and salt does not deserve to be consumed. That's what I'm saying, guys. What I'm saying is fuck Portland. Sorry, Portland. You're on my shit list. I don't like you. They have a great art museum. You should go see it. They have a really good set of gaming shops.
If you like lobster, hit some up on the East Coast of Canada, because that shit's good.
Listen to this guy talking about this shit. All right. Portland food truck. Don't talk to me about Portland. I'm done with Portland. I'm so over it.
How much on the cruise ship to just like have them bring you a pillow made of bacon so you don't even have to like...
Nothing. I mean, you get room service for free for most.
Yeah, get like a basket full of bacon, man. And just eat that.
At night, you can write down everything that you want for breakfast and leave it on a slip outside your door. They will wake you up ahead of time, then deliver that shit to your door, and you can be like, I'm just going to eat breakfast in bed. And that breakfast is 100% bacon with orange juice. So look, I haven't decided whether or not to go on this cruise, but let me tell you, it's going to be sleeping. I'm not going to go to Portland, all right? I'm going to sleep and be away from the internet.
You might be selling me on this cruise thing, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I feel, look, everyone should take at least one cruise in their life. Cruises have never been more affordable than this particular moment in time. They're crazy, they're nice, they're pretty affordable.
We should do a D&D cruise.
I would love to do a D&D cruise at some time.
Out of bacon, so when they're dead, we can just eat them.
They have rooms that you can get set aside with gaming tables for like cards and dice.
There you go.
You can just schedule one for like a 4-hour block. I've planned several of my shows while I'm on cruises.
If you're getting bacon delivered, there's no reason to stop the fun. You just keep going.
Look at Dave. He's just like, you get bacon delivered to your stateroom, not to your fucking D&D room. All right, look. Enough about me and my obsession with cruising and how I might go on a cruise just so I don't go insane. Let's talk to someone who is insane.
Yo, what up?
I was if no one said anything, I was going to go with Atomics, so I appreciate that you prevented that bullet from having to drop.
So I bought a board game. It's called Seventh Continent. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it is...
Yeah, it's Australia.
Fan-fucking-tastic. Well, no, I know the Seventh Continent in... yeah, it's stupid what they called it, but whatever. So it's a choose-your-own-adventure game, like the books, but a board game with tiles, like tiles like yay big. And it makes, if you put them all together, it makes up like a 4x4 or 4x3 like giant meter play area of like an entire continent. Like they've drawn out an entire continent and stuff like that. And what's really cool about these choose your own adventure things, like the one thing that was missing in a choose your own adventure book is like the visual element of like exploring or whatever. So on these tiles, right? If you look at a game tile and you look at it real hard and you see something weird on the tile, like, there's a tree broken over there. I wonder why that tree is broken. If you go search in that area, like around the other tiles that are connected to this broken tree, you'll start to find out things about what happened in this tree, or maybe you'll find an animal you can eat or whatever. And it's actually like like a fantastic game. Like it really is. But the problem with this game is that they're never going to sell it in stores. This was like a Kickstarter only board game. I had to go to a scalper to buy it. It was a really expensive purchase, but I don't regret it because it was such a unique experience for me personally that I'm just like, I don't know if I could recommend it to people though, but if you know someone who owns the game, you should definitely go and play it. Yeah. Like someone selling the game on like eBay by a scalper. I mean, like, you know, they jack up their prices because they're the only people you can go to now to get the game. Because they've done 2 Kickstarters. The first one made 1.3 million and the next one made like 7 million or something like that. Because everyone's like, oh, fuck, they're doing another Kickstarter. And now they're just like, yeah, we're never going to do this again. So
10 days later, we're doing it
luck.
again.
Yeah, they say that, but $7 million, they'll probably be like in a couple years, be like, hey, we're gonna do this thing again.
Yeah, they got to do the Johnny Depp
the
thing.
game has 2,000 individual like cards in it, for printing that are full art, full color. I can imagine that it would be an absolute fucking nightmare to do that, even if you got $7 million.
Yeah, probably.
Like they sent pictures. It was like 45,000 copies of the game. And they sent pictures of how many containers that was. It was like an insane amount of shipping, an insane amount of printing. Like I could that's insane. It's an insane amount of stuff. The box is about yay big and about yay thick sort of thing. It's a big fucking game, man. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, Spoody's having to clean the room.
Probably
That's fine. We'll do his intro last.
Rubber leaked.
Yeah, but that's what I've been doing. Oh yeah, and today I did a significant amount of day drinking, so I'm feeling pretty good actually.
Wow, that's great to hear.
Yeah, I went to a barbecue. You know, I'll say this about the Poles: they don't know how to barbecue properly. Like, I was like, oh cool, I'll bring some lamb, I'll bring some sirloin. You know, I'll marinate it for a couple of days. And I fucking show up with all this stuff, and they're just like, yeah, we got just like 40 kielbasa. And I'm like, the entire barbecue is a sausage. And I was like, yep. I was like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
Good thing they didn't try to grill up some jelly bread. Whatever that other, whatever that shit was. That was the last time.
What the fuck is jelly bread?
Remember, it's a gelatin with vegetables and stuff.
Oh, that's right. I remember that now.
Throw that on the barbecue and grill it up.
I also brought some halloumi, and they were just like, holy shit, this is awesome. I'm like, yeah, halloumi's fucking great, dude. And yeah, but I did a decent amount of day drinking, and I'm feeling pretty good, so I'm good to play. Let's go. Who's next?
While we've got him here, let's go ahead and do Spootnik.
Hello.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I'm excited to play. We were having dog issues.
Your dog seemed very excited.
Yeah. A little too excited.
Okay.
A little too excited.
Well, yeah. Where you been, buddy?
Well, had a birthday last week, so had to dip out at the last moment. But I'm here this week. I'm ready to play. Tomorrow, I'm flying to Italy, so that's why we won't be here next week.
Wait, we're not going to be here next week?
No.
Oh my gosh, you're right. It does say 5/8, no Spooty. My God, if I go on this vacation, we won't be back until the 22nd. All right, now I got to rethink this vacation plan. Just kidding. I don't give a fuck about you guys.
I mean, it's
don't fuck
Well, I'm going on vacation. I'm going on vacation for me.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
How's it feel to be officially over the hill, Spooty?
I'm not quite there yet. A couple more years. Then I'll have to give up my childish ways and play characters that aren't gnomes or halflings. Maybe like a
You don't have to lie to us, Spoon. It's okay.
an elf or something.
It's like
All
I've accelerated up to dwarves now.
That's
all
right.
of, all of your adventures are retired adventures, and the game is over.
Look, man, if there's one thing I know about retired adventurers, they just stand around and wait for the next generation of adventurers to come along and then tell them cryptic ass shit.
Or they stand on rocks forever.
Yeah, but they look good doing it.
True.
I mean, at least somebody looks good doing it.
So yeah, I've been pretty boring, honestly, most of this week. Just preparing myself for the insane amount of traveling. We, in order to save money, we took flights that have like super long layovers and stuff. So we're leaving tomorrow, but we're not even getting there until Friday. So
You travel much, Spooty?
yeah, but I mean, not a whole lot of international. I traveled international more with my previous job than I do now.
So, do you know about those VIP areas in the airport?
Well, yeah, but I'm not a member of any of those things.
But you can walk up to the front desk and you can just pay them to put you in.
Yeah.
And if you've got like a couple of hours, like sitting on those little stupid plastic chairs with the stupid handles in between you all the time, you can't get comfortable in them.
Oh
So
no, but that's why you
I
go like
always,
restaurant or a bar or whatever and post up there.
yeah. I mean, yeah, but you could also go to one of those places and just get free snacks and drinks instead of going to a bar. So
We shall see.
Just
We got
dress,
about
it's like the cruise ship of waiting areas, you know?
don't even get me started on cruises.
just dress up real business-like and walk in there like you already know, and they won't talk to you.
Are you an anti-cruisist?
Yes, I've done 2 of them with
Which would be?
The Navy.
the Navy, and I don't need to go on any more ships with lots of people anymore because fuck people.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. You know how you get these really good deals? It's
Yeah,
because the ships are empty.
yeah.
So
I
when you
mean,
go on cruises where you get a good deal, the ship is empty.
yeah, but sometimes I might fill up at the last minute. All I'm saying is that people are assholes, and nothing ruins a vacation faster
Than other people? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind like where we're going, talking to locals and stuff like that, but the other people like actually vacationing with that many people, no, thank you.
We all know the
Wait,
people you're
did they-
talking about.
Wait, do they go there to meet people? Because I don't want to meet people if I'm on a cruise ship.
I mean, you can meet people while you're on a
I
cruise ship.
mean, you can pretty much just, I guess, ignore them. Like if someone
I don't meet people when I'm on a
street.
cruise ship.
Like Arthur, I would be the guy that like is drunk all the time or sleeping
Why
all
would
the
you
time.
assume that I'm drunk all the time? Sleeping all the time is the correct choice.
He said
Yeah,
drunk.
that's what I'm
or-
saying. Drunk or sleeping. I would be that guy. You know, everyone would be like, I wonder what his story is. He's mysterious. And it's like, no, I'm just drunk.
Just order a club made of bacon and beat back anyone you don't want to talk to. They can't be mad. They're getting slapped with bacon.
I'll tell you what, Dave. There's a whole
Yeah.
special deck on Norwegian cruise ships that can only be accessed by people who have key cards to that level, right? It's got like a private pool. It's got concierge service. You get your own butler. They'll go anywhere
Sweet.
on the ship. They won't just get food for you. They'll get anything on the ship for you. If you're like, I need Tylenol, Charles, head to the gift shop and bring me some. They'll do it for you. I feel
Hell
like
yeah.
that's probably the part of the ship that you'd like being on.
Yeah, man. Give me that Metal Gear Solid level 5 access card. I'll go there.
Well, you're solid 5. Oh, Dave. Spootnik, I can understand that you don't like ships, having been on ships for some shipping time. I'd love to make Air Force jokes with you, but I feel like we should continue your intro.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much all that's going on. We have a friend of ours is from Italy, and so we're gonna get, a lot of her family still lives there. We're actually the first night that we get there, we're meeting up at her sister's apartment and staying the night there while the rest of our friends get into town. And we're staying out on an island for the majority of the time. And my girlfriend and I are gonna go up to Rome as well, so that's gonna be really fun. So I'm looking forward to that.
You're real close to me, Spooty. You should come say hi.
About a 12-hour train ride.
Yeah, dude, come on.
The closest you'll ever be to him again.
You show up drunk, it'll be awesome.
Oh my God.
We go party in Warsaw.
Why don't you just come down my way?
When are you going? Tomorrow? Jeez, that's a rough. I would 100%. I'm planning, because the thing about Europe travel is that it's so fucking easy to just go everywhere in Europe. It really is. Oh man.
Yeah, it's crazy easy. So yeah, that's me. Who's next?
Before we jump into anyone else, I just got an email about Shadowrun version 6.
Yeah. I've been talking about it all day.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know.
Are they just trying to beat Cyberpunk to the market?
Probably. Well, the Cyberpunk Red is coming out pretty soon.
Yeah.
It's coming out at Gen Con, is my understanding, which means they are going to beat it to the market.
Coming out when?
Gen Con, so early August. You're umming?
No, I'm just like, yeah, give me. I want to see what they do with that. If they make it a lot more easier to run.
Probably not.
Shadowrun will probably be harder to run.
Yes. Oh, that's what you're saying. Well, yeah. Look, man, here's the thing about Shadowrun is that the fucking hacking system is always horrible. But the same could be said of Cyberpunk. They're always terrible. Like, the only system I know that has a good hacking system is, what is that Apocalypse World version of Cyberpunk?
Oh.
Not the Veil, the other one. Well, the Veil is also pretty good, but...
Sprawl?
Yeah, the Sprawl. The Sprawl is fucking excellent hacking system.
Yeah, but then you're playing Apocalypse World game.
Yeah, but I like Apocalypse World games.
They're all the same. Every single one of them. You get to a point where you're just like, I'm nearly invincible.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, those games aren't supposed to be played forever. They're like, if you're playing this longer than 10 sessions, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of games that have retirement built into a mechanic. So, anyway.
I'm about to build retirement into you, bitch.
Bring it.
Speaking of someone who's retired, let's talk to nobody, because no one here is retired. Drumurboy, let's talk to you instead.
I will never retire. I will work until I die.
Well, you and every other millennial, and probably the next few generations until the planet gets too hot to live on.
Yeah,
I've almost retired 3 times in my life already. Come on, guys, catch up.
Yeah, but you're not retired, Dave. You're literally that guy that's like, I'm 2 days away from retirement. Nope, they pull me back into the gaming industry.
I just don't know what I would do.
I'm just too good at gaming to get out of the gaming industry.
I could have been a star quarterback. Anyway,
how did we get onto Lethal Weapons?
I just make music, man. I do stuff for roleplay, stuff for Roll20 and their Twitch content, and then the lead sound designer at nerderdie.com, which I'm working on something pretty cool for them right now. That'll probably be out within the month, I think. A new thing. Yeah, that's about it for me.
Speaking of X, let's talk to, Atomikspoon.
I was waiting to see where you were going to go with it.
I wasn't going anywhere with it, though. That's the thing.
I've been working a lot of Chaos Space Marines. That's pretty much, that's literally all I've been doing.
Did you check my Chaos Space Marines army of Cornish Berserkers?
I have not.
It's pretty sweet. It's Cairn the Betrayer, plus a unit of 5 Chaos Space Marine Cornish Berserkers, and a unit of 17 Cornish Space Marine Berserkers. And that's it, with Icons of Wrath. They're literally just supposed to run up on somebody and keep slashing. 3 fight phases in 1 turn, my friend. You just keep fighting forever.
I don't know how to work with, because transports are as useful as they used to be. Like, when I last played in 5th.
I don't have transports. I don't have a transport. I have to run straight at somebody.
In 5th, if I recall right, with the Khorne Berserkers, you would essentially disembark them and then have them run up, using like a rhino for cover. But since they've kind of made that less of a tactic, I don't know how well the berserkers, like compared to say raptors, which have jump packs. Which
We're
just
gonna
seem-
have to run over open terrain at high speed. Look,
Yeah.
500-point armies are real tough builds.
Yeah, no shit. I can't even build an Iron Warriors army for 500 points.
I like the 500-point builds though. That first army I built isn't bad.
I mean,
not the
almost all the
best.
500. The only problem is most of the a lot of the armies, a lot of the armies, unless you're doing at least 1,000, you can't bring a lot of their unique strengths into play because you're just limited by, you know.
I don't know,
you-
World Breakers, their unique strength is fucking Cornish berserkers, so that's the only thing you can bring into play.
Well, I mean, that's World Eaters in a nutshell, but man.
We're talking Warhammer, Dave. All right, let me tell you something. Since the
know,
last
checked
time
out
we've
of it.
streamed this, I've had to learn the entirety of Warhammer 40k in 2 different army lists.
To tell you how serious he is about Warhammer now, he made a dedicated Warhammer channel.
Wait,
That's
what?
because I'm gonna have a
In his
Warhammer show
Discord.
down the line.
In his
Oh, okay.
I also have a Pokemon channel for the Pokemon show that's being edited but hasn't actually finished editing anything yet.
So, like, they released a video game version of like the tabletop version of Warhammer. I'd be interested in learning it, but
there's stuff for Tabletop Simulator.
Tabletop
but-
Simulator.
yeah, but that like I want like an official like you know Magic the Gathering online version of Warhammer Online.
They won't do it.
Like make the miniatures cost the same amount of money and all that shit. It's just an effort of like I don't know. Like yeah.
They'll never do it. This is just not how GW rolls.
I just don't want to have all of that shit. Like that's the reason why I don't play Magic anymore, because you play Magic, you're gonna have a bazillion cards after a
Yeah,
while.
empty out some closet space.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. I mean, it's
Buy
like
new
any other war game. But
Looking at you, Slivers. That's the only deck you're ever gonna need.
Until they're not legal anymore.
Oh,
I don't think Slither's illegal right now.
I will challenge the head of Magic the Gathering to a Slivers deck, and I will make them legal.
He'll probably just say no. What are you
I'm
fucking
the
talking
fucking
about? And then-
emperor of Slivers, okay?
What are you doing in my house? Get out of my house.
AP will be the guy in the corner with like the sandwich board saying slivers are real. You're like,
What?
challenge me.
I will pull you into a world you do not understand.
what the
Well.
fuck is going on?
Throwing duplicate
Slivers.
sliver cards at people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There's no
pretty much
such
what
thing
I'm
as
doing.
duplicate sliver cards. All slivers are precious and should be played as soon as possible.
No, there's duplicates. There's duplicates of everything. Let's play some D&D.
Yeah,
You sure? There's nothing else we want to talk about?
I mean, really have nothing else to talk about. I mean, that's all you and I have been doing all week, right? Is messing around with Warhammer stuff.
Well, I don't see you showing up. I'm like, check this army list, guys. Give me some feedback. It's fucking crickets up in here. But when it comes to posting memes, people are like, fucking DACA. And I'm like, God damn it. Man.
Look, man,
Like,
I have a Warhammer memes folder that is probably as big or bigger than your waifu folder.
And
Priorities,
which
man.
one?
Priorities.
I'm not gonna make that joke. I'm sorry.
Memes for the meme god. Memes for the meme god.
No, it's blood for the blood gods, sir. I fucking 100% rep for corn right here.
That's the
The only meme that I've seen of Warhammer that I actually enjoy is when like they have like the anime waifu crossover of them saying that's heresy,
But
they're
that's
like,
heresy.
Yeah, like that's the only meme that I enjoy. Oh,
You
and
know, we
that,
have
the
a
one-
APGamingREAL channel specific version of that. Of one of the players' characters saying, but that's heresy, but it's spelled heresy as in like a rabbit because the character is half rabbit.
Uh-huh.
But that's heresy.
And the other one that I really enjoyed was like there was a video a while back of like someone looking at a porno magazine and then another guy coming along being like, that's heresy, shooting them and then looking at it and being like, oh my God. And
Yeah, then the
another
next
person
guy
like,
gets
"That's
killed
heresy."
up and up and up.
Yeah.
Better exterminatus.
Yeah, I remember that. That's the only other video that I know. Anyway.
Fine, whatever. I don't care. Let's get started. I'm not upset or anything. Previously on this show, the entire party was eaten by lizards. Then they were spit out of those lizards. They killed the people riding the lizards. The people riding the lizards were eaten by the lizards. Using this clever tactic that they noticed, they killed the people riding the lizards. The lizard would get distracted and they slaughtered the lizards. Everyone somehow survived. Then they got down to business, cooking lizards. We find ourselves in evening. The sun is setting in the distance. There's thousands of pounds of lizard and dead lizard man lying in the distance, just outside of the camp that you've created. Describe for me how this camp is going down. My understanding is you've created a fire pit. You've used it to dry out and make some jerky out of some of the lizard. 100 pounds of it, which is on someone's sheet here. What are you doing with the rest of the lizards and the lizard man bodies? And Gygax is like fucking dying out here, man. He's been stuck in your bag all day. You fought with him on your back. It's a desert. He's a temperate creature. He's not covered in water. He's dying. Gygax is your giant ant. Your baby giant ant.
I know.
All right, just making sure you didn't react at all to the fact that he's dying.
Well, I mean, I'd be taking care of him if he's like needs water. He's gonna get water. You know,
Okay.
That's.
I think
he turns his giant ant head up to you and clicks his clicker things together, begging for water in the desert heat.
Yeah, no, I'll bathe him in water. That's fine.
After a little bit of water bathing, he heads over to the pile of the one dead lizard that you started carving up and begins feasting on the corpse.
Problem solved.
It is one of 5 lizards, and Gygax cannot eat 900 pounds of lizard.
Problem solved.
We need to bury the bodies.
Who is Finley Longbottom, really?
Henley Bagel Schmear, please.
That's his undercover spy name. The name
Right.
Schmear. Bagel Schmear.
Bagel Schmear.
Nice.
Da, 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 da.
I always go between 2 pieces of white bread.
What?
I'm spreadable.
The bread might have a hole in it, but I'll fill it real good.
Oh my god.
Your joke giving card is just revoked for the night. Just stop making jokes, please.
Can we fire him at an airlock, please?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'd be down for burying these bodies. They're warriors. They died in battle.
Why do we care?
But we don't want. I don't give a shit about their whatever rights. It's just we don't want them being discovered. Like it'd be better if somebody comes through here thinking that they're just, we don't want evidence of their patrol having been wiped out or whatever. I'm thinking from that perspective.
Or it could be a sign that says, "Don't mess with us." Or else
We'll
you'll-
mess with you.
Or else you'll get this treatment, this thing, all these bodies that we left behind.
I mean, is there a reasonable place we can drag these corpses off to? Because
It's the desert, so there's
There's
sand in every
sand.
direction.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
these
also the
ruins,
case.
These
Is the
ruins.
wind blowing?
Yes.
It is?
Yep.
So they'll be covered up in like a few hours anyway.
It's still pretty. I mean, it's whatever. I'm just saying
Work smarter, not harder, boys.
What did they say about these ruins again? There's like just ancient ruins. Is it their
ruin
stuff
problem.
or?
And if I remember correctly, they also gave us a map or something like that,
He
right?
did
One
not
of the-
give
one
you
of-
a map. You took
They
it off their
took it.
dead body.
Yeah.
But if it's just like a holy ground for them, we could just like set them up around the dais and make it look like they were doing some sort of sacrifice.
A grisly warning to give up their religion. If anybody
Not even that,
follows.
just like make it look like they were here for a reason, and then the storm killed them.
I mean,
All right. So your plan, just to jump in here, your plan is to fake their deaths. Well, they're dead. You're the cover up.
it's going to be pretty hard to, be like, oh, the weather killed them when they've got arrows and sword wounds and clearly died in vicious combat. But I mean, it's whatever.
Finley doesn't care. Finley's not moving or pulling any bodies anywhere.
Daka doesn't really care either. I would leave.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that it's a waste of time, but
Like
I
we've got-
assume
we've
that
got a place-
scouting parties run into confrontations all the time. They don't seem like the type that wins a lot of ambushes out here.
We've already got a place to be, and it's kind of time sensitive.
That is true.
Also, I'm going to be carrying this head around with me, so
The unpreserved head of Boldish of Clan Luga, if I'm remembering correctly.
yeah.
Yes, I looked at my notes just now and I confirmed that I remembered that guy's name correctly.
You do that, Kelly. It's totally not weird.
We
Holy
did
shit.
carry around that Silverblade guy's head.
I mean,
earlier.
they're a race of warrior lizards. I mean, if I walk in there and throw the head of one of their like leaders on the ground,
They're
it's going to
gonna fight
inspire
us.
fear. Yeah.
If they're warriors, they're probably
Or
gonna fight us.
anger.
I mean, they're going to fight us anyway. You heard the way that they like to think about anyone else that isn't lizards. Huh?
Yeah, let's go with that logic.
Either way,
Also,
we do have,
we're eating their horses basically, and that's like
It's not our fault that they're delicious.
either way, we do have a meeting place to scout out and make sure there's nothing
that's true.
untoward going to happen, and we have a traitor to catch.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gygax comes over like a little dog, just like happily. And like, he doesn't hop back in the bag. He kind of like buries himself half in the sand near the fire and just kind of enjoys being roasted by the fire a little bit.
What's the deal with Gygax? By the way, is he
His
like?
baby giant ant.
Is he okay? So we have to spend quite a bit of time in motion to like have him raise up. He's not going to raise
He's the size
up like
of a
magically.
small dog right now. When he grows to full size, he'll be big enough for one of you guys to ride.
Hell yeah!
I mean,
You're
I
not
think he's
you're
big
not
enough for
certain
me
how
to ride
fast
right
they
now.
grow at, but at some point Finley will be able to ride on him.
Nice.
Like when we
And
wake
it's
up in the morning.
So.
You get stuck in a time storm and get chrono shifted. Gygax gets forward thrown, and now all of a sudden he's become a king giant ant, right? He's like shifted 2 classes up.
And then it becomes like a kaiju movie. We just get Gygax to fight the giant beetle in the north.
That's not just that. It's a Sentai movie, right? The 4 of you put your enchanted magical weapons together, and it makes Gygax go whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah, but it's clearly like a corgi in an ant suit on a model.
Corgi in it.
Oh man, Grid
knocking
Man.
over Lego buildings and shit.
Ah, boy. Well, Exus seems concerned about the bodies, but just kind of is looking at the fire and says, "Should we put it out or keep it for the night? It will perhaps get cold, but the fire can be seen."
Is it dangerous to travel at night?
In the desert? Yes. Very dangerous to travel at night.
Is it more dangerous than traveling in the daytime?
Yes, very dangerous to travel at night. In the daytime, you can see snakes, scorpions, enemies approaching. In the night, you could be picked up by any number of poisonous, toxic, deadly creatures.
When were we supposed to be at that place?
It's tomorrow afternoon. You guys are going to arrive early, so you know exactly where it is, and
All right.
you'll get there ahead of time.
Don't I say we just
Okay.
wait it out until dawn?
Well, if we're waiting here, I will do whatever weird stuff Agrim wants with these bodies. If he feels more comfortable having them dragged off somewhere, then I'll help him do that.
I mean, if we're waiting, it's not going to take long. I can just do it by myself.
That's what I mean. Outside of
from
these
a-
dead horses.
From a being tracked kind of
I
perspective.
mean, they're not horses; they're lizards.
I know, but like they're the size of horses, right? So these are
Yes, they're
lizards
slightly
the size of
larger than horses. Really, they're 1,000 pounds.
So-
So
yeah, so that's a lot of dead thing to drag. So
So what's the plan? You're going to drag them away from the campsite and just leave them out in the open, or you're going to try to bury
that's up to
them?
Agram. Well, he's wanting to do something with them.
That's
so.
a lot
just
of work
wanna-
to bury
I
all
just-
those bodies.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to alert anybody. We don't have to. This is my whole point.
I mean, I have a shovel, so
But I mean, if
I don't know if I
don't
can
wanna
dig
do
a
it.
hole big enough to put all of that shit in, though. That's the problem. It's a big fucking hole.
So Exes says,
Sane's burning it.
I have seen before men walk into the desert and put their hand on the ground, and the ground shifts and opens into a hole. Do any of you perhaps have powers like that? Spells or incantations of such?
I look over at Finley and was like, "Do you?"
No.
No, then I don't know. I don't think so.
Very well.
Okay, let me ask you this: like, what normally happens when there's some dead native lizards?
It will be ravenously consumed. Vultures, wyverns, perhaps.
wyverns.
Wyverns.
You mean like dragons?
They are like the great worms, yes.
Worms
Some
with a
call
Y
them the
off.
children of great worms. Others say that they are merely a lesser species. But yes, wyverns thrive in the desert. There are many brass wyverns out here. They hunt in small numbers, 1 or 2.
Might be best to get them away from the camp then.
Yeah.
If that's just bait, then we don't want to have to fight the local wildlife.
Yes.
I gotta do my best.
Up anyway.
I'll do my best to help drag them off a bit. Not too far because that'll be too much work, but
Yeah.
just enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Thaumaturgy does not affect heat, correct?
No. That's
Just
correct.
light.
Just light.
So I can
And
make the
sound.
fire less noticeable, but not reduce our heat.
That's correct.
Yeah. I mean, we're also kind of enclosed a bit where we are, so it'll help with the
Okay.
vision stuff. But
So then, what's the plan? Is there a watch order? You're dragging the bodies away so that they're not a bait
Yeah.
issue.
So yeah, we do our normal standard watch. You know, with Finley being like either first or last. So
we just do standard as always. What Kelly,
I'll take
myself,
last watch. Yeah.
Finley. We've also got the other guy too. I don't know if we want to use him or try to, but
I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't rely on him for watch. So
When you say that, X's deflates. He's just like, oh.
if he wants to help, I mean, who's got the shittiest person put him on their watch?
or you can take first watch then.
Well, Finley doesn't have dark vision, so putting that guy with him could help.
He's a human, but yes.
Oh, I mean, still, two pairs of
Well,
eyes.
We're putting him at dawn, like where light is starting to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, if the guy wants to help, I wouldn't, don't turn it down.
Yeah. But before we sleep, I want to ask Exus about the traitor.
Yes,
Is it-
you wish
it's
to
a
know
person-
about this traitor that we have discovered in our midst.
Yeah. What's his name? What's he look like? If we see him there.
I'm sorry, his name evades me. I don't remember what Lord Tong Sang Wei said his name was.
Is he dressed in a way that makes him identifiable?
I don't know very much about this man. I would suspect he attempts to blend in with the local lizard folk culture, but he is a human, so he should be in that way immediately recognizable. If he follows the protocol, he should be expecting the monks to arrive tomorrow afternoon. But of course, we will be showing up before that. Although, from what I understand of your plan, we'll be showing up ahead of time and then ambushing him when he arrives.
Maybe not ambushing him right away. Just see what he's up to. If he's talking to lizard folk ahead of.
I thought the plan was to make sure that there is no ambush waiting for us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically the plan. But I don't know if like capturing or killing him outright as soon as we get there is a good plan.
Well, I mean, we need to figure, or do we think that the Tungsten Way would want him, just out of the picture? Does he want us to bring him back alive so we can punish him himself? Which one would be more beneficial to us?
I don't know. He's not paying us anything, so
we have to make sure there's no extra ambushes, because this is the one that's been setting up murders of all the other monks, and no one else has come away alive from that. So we don't even know what this looks like.
Yeah, well, our plan was to get there early and then flank around to make sure that there's nobody coming from before the monks get there or whatever.
We'll set up beforehand.
Okay.
Just get a good lay of the land.
Look, be a lovely trap.
I mean, with 2 rangers and a rogue too. I mean, Kelly's smashing face, but the rest of us are kind of more, stealth and that sort of thing is more of our bag anyway. So,
all right. The night passes relatively uneventfully until second watch. So who's your second watcher?
most
And you have
likely me
a
or
you have an
Dark-
excellent passive perception, if I remember correctly. It's like 15.
14.
Yeah.
Okay. Right around midnight for you, your watch is about to end, and out of nowhere you begin hearing noises. You have enough dark vision that you can see at the edge of the dark vision that snakes, jackals, a wolf, some sort of like small bird, maybe like a stork. All of them are consuming those bodies that you've left out in the open. It's like a desert feast for all of these creatures, and some of them begin fighting each other.
Are they? I mean, they're off in the distance, not bothering us at all.
Yeah, they're about 60 feet away. They could be upon your camp very quickly if they were to turn hostile.
I'll keep an eye on them.
Okay.
Weapon at the ready, and if they start to move towards us at all, I'll wake somebody. But if they just mind, eating the bodies, leaving us alone, then I'm not worried about it.
Okay. All right. In the morning, as the sun is rising, the last watch ends. The fire suddenly goes out with a gust of wind and a sandstorm. And standing in the fire pit is a man with a 2-foot-long beard of scraggly brown hair streaked with white. Kind of curly, unkempt, wavy hair is coming out from beneath a pink cloak that has been pulled up around him, almost as if like a mantle. It's closed in the front, so you can't see what he's wearing, but he's got a staff in front of him, and he just kind of stands in your fire pit where it was literally just lit and now is dead.
How far into the morning are we? Are we like all waking up and
You're-
breaking camp?
Whoever
or,
was
like,
on last watch is 100% awake, and everybody else is like pulling themselves together.
Finley, then.
So, is he human?
His face appears human-ish. Would you like to take a closer look?
Yeah,
All right, make a perception check real quick.
go up to and sniff him.
sure. Why not?
I like a
Well,
human.
going up and sniffing him would be investigation. Oh no, Finley's half in. Okay.
Oh,
You try to take a closer look at him, but it's almost as if his form is shifting. Maybe you're just tired. It's the morning and shit is happening very quickly.
I'll say, hey there, human. That's quite the entrance.
So he taps his staff on the ground real quick and kind of pushes some of the piece of almost charcoalish wood out of the way and steps out of the fire pit and says, "Oh, hello there, little one. Greetings from the desert."
Greetings.
What are the rest of you doing when you see this guy? Like, is it instantly going for weapons?
Oh yeah, instantly going for weapons.
Oh,
And he's like, "No need for that. No need for that. I'm just a humble traveler." He pulls his cloak down over his face to cover his eyes and says, "I was just curious if you had any tales to tell of your travels through this area. You don't
I'm
appear to
sorry.
be people of the desert, to put it bluntly, but also somewhat politically."
What? Why did you ruin our fire? I was going to cook breakfast and that.
He taps the staff again, and the fire is back, and he says, The fire was never gone.
More importantly, why are you in our fire?
And stop gaslighting us.
Guess what now?
I am a gatherer of tales. I seek out stories, legends, ancient treasures of knowledge, and you people appear to have all three.
Does any of that sound familiar?
In what way?
There was that wizard.
He vaguely is reminding me of the original, like the first wizard guy.
Talon Soundwater? The dude that the wizard that keeps on meeting us outside of our...
That guy, yeah.
Outside of the mountain.
This does not appear to be the same person.
Because like
Spawn camping bastard.
He's definitely got a enormous beard and is actually human rather than whatever Talon is, halfling or short human.
he's a rogue arcane trickster. Yeah, okay. I just found the note that I made on him. Just because he hasn't been heard from for a while, so this I don't know. I'll just ask this person what his name is.
My name. Can you call me the storyteller?
I mean, yes,
I
but
mean, that's what's on your birth certificate, or
Where I come from, they don't have birth certificates.
so your parents just called you storyteller.
I don't
Maybe
think
his
I ever
last name
spoke
is
with my
Teller.
parents.
and his first name is Story. That makes sense. Mr. Teller.
Please, just my friends call me the storyteller.
Oh, the
Your first name is The, and your last name is Storyteller.
So
where's Penn?
I mean, you can't tell a story without a pen.
It's true.
You
You
can
can't
tell
write a story
plenty of
without a pen.
stories
You can tell
about-
one.
Everything you're saying is totally wrong. I
Listen,
like you
we
guys,
actually
though.
have a place to be. You're welcome to travel with us if you want to exchange stories, but
What
we
if
can't.
instead you were welcome to travel with me? I know something of the local area. If you tell me a story, I will allow you to walk along the hidden path.
you are more than welcome to join us then.
I'll point to the dais and be like, do you know the story of this dais? What it says?
I read the language.
Because that's what I was going to offer in return if he didn't know. We gotta know.
I know much about this desert. I am more interested in your story. Tell me something interesting that's happened to you.
Can I tell him this? I'm going to tell him the story, Arthur, of how I met my god.
Okay?
I'm going to tell him about the battlefield and how Valkyrie came down and basically rewarded soldiers on the battlefield with basically like a chance to serve eternally. Goose and Gus. Goose and Gus? Am I saying that right?
Goose and Gus, yes.
Goose and Gus, yeah. And how she is ever patient for those who, follow her creed and her code. So basically, I'm just telling him about that fateful encounter. And at the end, I sort of like look at his reaction. Like, what's his reaction to that?
He's smirking as you tell the story, and he wraps it up by saying, How interesting. You have such a different interpretation of Goose and Guz than those who live around here.
What do you mean?
You have a cordial relationship with your god, and you seem to respect playing by the rules.
Well, I mean, it makes a fair fight if that's what you're asking.
That is one way to look at Goose and Guz, but that is not the desert's way.
Was that a sufficient story, or do I need to tell the story of how this one had sex almost with a dragon?
That is a very interesting story, and I will want to know more about it. But I will allow you to walk the hidden path for 6 miles. And he taps his staff on the ground, and you can see a sandstorm just suddenly roll through the area. And to the east, there's now like a recessed path 1 inch into the sand of just like sand flagstones that leads in like a perfectly straight line across the dune. It looks like it's going to be very easy to move the cart over that kind of terrain.
Is that the direction we need to go, though?
It is.
Wait.
Come. At the end of the path, there is fresh water. Tell me more about having sex with a dragon.
Well, no, he didn't have sex with a dragon.
Oh, trust me,
But
if he had sex with a dragon, I would know about it. Everyone would know about it.
So I start telling him, like, as we're walking, I'm telling him the tale of how Daka gave up his firstborn.
Oh my god. This guy's horrified when you're telling the story.
Yeah, and then we were trying to like bargain with this what was the creature called?
Succubus. She was cool with it. She was actually kind of stoked. But
yeah, it was a good idea, yeah. But the
as it turns
orgasm
out-
was too much for Daka.
and I
He
died.
wasn't man enough. Yeah, he died.
So he slaps you on the back and says, "Looking good for a dead man."
If he like, I've got my cloak, I'll just like raise the cloak over the tattoo on the back of my neck because I don't trust this guy.
What's not to trust?
Random wizard shows up in our fire at dawn.
Starts helping us for no apparent reason.
Yeah,
Stories.
no.
It's the oldest trick in the book, Arthur.
Arthur?
There we go. Twitch Prime. There we go. Hey, we didn't do it. There we go. Sweet. Anyway, let's continue along this mysterious path that this dude is
My
going to
man
kill us at the end of.
Twitch.
I want to point out, you guys have
Twitch
failed
Prime.
at Twitch Prime for so long that the Battletech cast started doing it, and I ended up picking like 15 subs up in one night. It was pretty
There
wild.
you go.
Yeah.
If we didn't fail so bad, you wouldn't have those
It
subs.
works. We laid the groundwork for it. And
Yeah, we are the foundation bricklayers.
They took the ball and ran with it.
We're the crumbling.
You're the
shaking
sand
foundation.
flagstone of this channel, that's for sure.
We're the balsa wood cornerstone of this stream.
The guiding light, if you will.
We're the storyteller of your stream, Arthur.
You're the LED light in the sunlight.
That's right.
We're the
After a
number of
few,
days since accidents sign 0 of this stream.
We're the
After a
blackout
few
shades
hours.
that you put on your windows since you have to work all night and sleep.
after a few hours, you reach the end of the path faster than you'd think you'd normally be able to move in the desert, and there's a oasis that is recessed into this sand dune area so that you can't see over the dune in any direction, where numerous small animals are sipping from what appears to be a spring of fresh, cool water in broad daylight. None of the creatures react to the approach of this, what you believe to be a wizard, but they flee as your party and caravan approaches. Gygax moves to break free of the bag almost immediately. He's just like wiggling in your backpack.
Yeah, I put him down. Let him go do his
He
thing.
submerges himself in the water and just like walks along the bottom, then backs out and takes a breath, and then walks back down again. He's constantly like backing out, breathing, and going back in.
Yeah, we'll probably let him do that for a little while. It's probably hot.
So the storyteller, moves to like help splash some water, kneeling down at the edge of the pool over Gygax, and says, "Come, drink. It's perfectly fine, as you can see. I will take some myself if it would make you feel better." He, like,
I mean, it's an oasis, right? Like, it's not like
drinks
we-
some and says, "It's good, clean."
Yeah, it looks good. I take a big old gulp.
It tastes pretty good. It kind of tastes like packaged mineral spring water. Like, this is probably the cleanest water you might have drank in a while.
Guys, it's actually pretty good.
We should bottle this water and sell it.
That sounds like a good idea.
I would prefer that you not do that.
No, I'm just gonna take some with like
Just take what you
water, my wineskin or whatever water pouch that I have.
I assume like we have like a barrel or something like that on the wagon for water and shit, right? We wouldn't be walking through the.
Well, let me ask: is there one on your character sheet?
Yes. No, there's not.
Then you don't have a barrel for water. In fact, you're probably pretty desperate for water, considering most of you only have one water skin, and you haven't had fresh water in 2 days.
Yeah, we have an explorer's pack, so I'm assuming that includes like a tiny like leather thing with a.
Yeah, water skin. No, you guys are definitely completely low on water, and this is a good place to pick some up.
Then
I have a water skin and a second water skin for wine, Arthur. I specifically
That's called a wine skin, Dave.
It is. That's a water skin with wine in it.
That's still called a wine skin.
You can't put water in it?
You can put water in it, but then it's a water skin.
What about melted American cheese skin?
Ew, that's disgusting.
Cheese with skin.
Fine. You don't get your cheese with skin.
It grows its own skin. It's fine.
I just want to give a quick aside. There's like, the government, U.S. government makes what's called government issued cheese. Apparently, we like throw out 30 million pounds of it every year because no one wants to eat it. Fucking wild. We make cheese to keep dairy prices stable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the big pharma doesn't run away with the cheese prices, man. Come on, American freedom.
I don't even want to go into farming subsidies right now. I just want to talk about all this wasted cheese. In the meantime, Exus is like putting out a bowl and leaving some copper coins in it at the edge of the water. And he says something to the man in Eastall. The storyteller doesn't reply and simply takes the bowl, pours the coins out, dips it in the water, and hands the now water-filled bowl back to Exus.
I was walking over with a coin in my hand just to see what was up. Like, am I supposed to pay for this water?
When you offer the coin out, the storyteller says, no need. He is superstitious.
That seems to be a theme in the desert.
I would say it's a theme anywhere. There are many who mistake belief and emotion for fact and reality. But reality is somewhat more malleable than what people believe.
So I have a question for you, Mr. Wizard.
I'm afraid I am not a wizard. I know a few tricks, of course, but...
Okay. Anyway, how did you find us in the desert?
I know everything that happens in the desert.
So you know about... can you explain, like, the whole lizard people conundrum that's going on right now?
That's going on right now. It's been going on since the lizard people came to these lands.
Okay, we're a bit of a new entity in these lands. I
understand. Some of these, to sum it up very quickly, some of these tribes wish to retain their old way of life, the traditions they have always lived in. And some of the tribes wish to cooperate with other races, form new, more advanced, culturally, technologically, scientifically, spiritually society, to become more connected with the way people live rather than with the world around them.
Okay.
These two groups believe that there is no way to coexist, and the way that they live, it is indeed true. They cannot continue going as they are. They have always been at war and always will be.
Yeah, I kind of got that sense when we tried to talk them into maybe a peaceful resolution to their squabble.
Yes,
Well,
it
how-
would be
how
very
would-
difficult to convince the so-called raider people of stopping fighting. The whole reason that they have become raiders is because they enjoy the fighting.
How would you fix this?
He taps his staff against the sand and says, I would not fix it at all. It is not a problem to be fixed. It is neither my problem nor the problem of any but those who are involved in it. Although I suppose now that you have chosen a side, you are part of the problem. What is there to be fixed? People take things from other people. Time advances in one direction or another. There is no stopping anything.
And do you know of all these ruins that are in this desert? Is that
I know
something
much
you're
of them.
aware of? Have you been to them? Could you
I have been
maybe
to many.
tell?
Once they
How
were
could
less ruined than
help
they
me?
are now.
We're looking for something in them. Perhaps you could tell us if they're in them.
What is
Maybe-
it that you seek?
I sort of look at everyone. What is everyone's sort of reaction to this conversation? Out of curiosity.
Like cautious optimism, maybe.
Okay.
If we can do this,
Picking my teeth.
if we can do this without like interrupting and intermingling with like two warring factions that have no interest in like ever ending their war. Like Dogger just wants to go north to the elves and be like, what the fuck is going on with time, okay?
Yeah.
Yo, time be fucked.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna be straight with you, Mr. Teller. Okay, so we're trapped in time.
Yes, I noticed.
Well, that was easy.
You bear the mark of the 11th dragon.
Does it have a name, perchance? We've just been calling it the Crystal Dragon all this
It
time.
is, in fact, the crystal dragon, yes.
That's its name.
Dragons are known by the color or makeup of their content, so yes.
The others have names.
Ah, you mean the great worms. Yes, they all have many magnificent names attached to them. Yes. Well,
This one does not.
well, for one thing, it's dead, so
That makes things a little more difficult.
So how do we get rid of this?
I have
trapped
no
in time?
idea.
That's what we're trying to find out. There's small hints left all over ruins, and we're headed to the north to speak to the elves to see if they know anything about it.
You are looking in elven ruins for elven knowledge. There is such a ruin where you might find knowledge predating even the elves, quite close at hand.
Well, then, point us in the direction.
He starts describing it, and as he does, along the ground, sand begins rising up and creating like a map of the local area. It becomes obvious that the thing he's talking about is the lion in the sand where you're headed to. He says, this lion in the sand, known as Tifaris's tiger. Indeed, it is merely an elven monument built upon a whole second ruin of a civilization which has predated the ancient elves. And now the lizard folk use it as a meeting place. Fascinating how history continues to pile up on top of itself. Within the ruins of Tifaris's tiger, there is a lock. Should you open it, you will open a door of great doom and danger. But some of the information you seek may lie within. For that curse that lies upon you comes from an ancient civilization whose name has been lost to time.
Do you perhaps know how we were chosen or why?
Such knowledge predates me.
Do you have an inkling, maybe?
Black would know.
Just a guess.
Maybe Stalvin Black. This
You
thing
speak
that
of Stalvin Black.
might be part
A
of this
new
ancient
creature.
culture.
Stalvin Black is a child.
A child of maybe this race that predates you that has cursed and plagued us.
Look, if he's got answers, I really don't care how old he is.
How old are you, by the way?
Me? I actually don't know.
I believe he's talking to me.
Oh.
I'd prefer not to say my age, if it's all the same to you. I am in my elder years.
Would you believe that I am much older than you, perhaps?
You seem to believe it when you say it.
Because I have no recollection of any of the cultures or cities or civilizations built on this ground.
It's true. I fought many campaigns through this region, and none of it is the same.
The creation that is like before your time or the creation of whatever, there's no context in my memory for these things. They have woken up and 3 worlds, it seems, have grown and died since.
That is unfortunate.
Then you see why I'm trying to piece this together. Did I ever tell the party about my dream about like us having done this hundreds of times, not just like a dozen times?
I don't think you did.
You didn't speak about the Fey Dream yet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Nope.
With Paris the Swan.
Yeah.
Though we do have some inkling of it because both myself and I think it was Agrim saw that. You, Tucker,
Mhm.
saw that tentacle monster thing, and it gave us hints that we've done this hundreds of times before, and that we've had this conversation with the exact same result before. So
Yeah.
I mean, we have an inkling that we've done this a lot.
Master Dwarf, might I speak privately with you for a moment before you all depart?
I mean, sure, I guess. Why not? Fuck it.
So he kind of moves out of comfortable speaking range of the rest of you and waits for Agrim to approach him.
All right, I'll do so.
I sense within you great conflict.
I mean, you gonna elaborate
All
on
right,
that?
Ben.
Dwarves on a whole require structure. Homes, clans, families, and yet you seem to be without one.
Well, yeah, everybody's fucking dead. Get ripped out of one thing where everybody's alive. Next thing I know, everybody's dead. So yeah, it's a pretty messed up situation. But do continue.
There is one thing that might aid me in Dwarven lands. It has been lost to time. Should you recover it and bring it to me, I could reward you greatly in the process.
Wait, let me guess. It's in the lands that I need to reclaim.
Are there lands you need to reclaim?
Oh yeah, a lot of taxes I gotta pay. It's a shit show. I mean, 80-something years worth of taxes apparently.
Then you are a member of Clan Iron Fury.
Yep, the one and only.
I'm afraid that this item lies below your clan's lands.
It's fucking shocking. Okay, what does it do?
I'm saying it's deeper than that.
Hmm.
Your lands are not necessary to access this item.
Okay.
It is laid outside the reach of even the gloomstalkers of the Dwarven people. In the caves where drow roam free and orcs multiply.
Well, if it's outside the reach of the Gloomstalkers, then you're fucked because I am one of them, and
You and your companions seem to be more powerful than the average Gloomstalker.
They are fairly capable, yeah.
A small party can travel with precision and stealth that a larger group cannot. Would you not agree?
Oh, I would definitely agree. But some of us aren't exactly stealthy. He kind of just gestures over to Kelly and his full plate or whatever.
I'm like banging on a tree right now to see if I can get some fruit out.
Just
of
have two trash can lids just smacking them together for no
Like, Gygax, get out of the water. Gygax, come here, Gygax.
it. Like walking through the water trying to grab his hand.
There are mitigating circumstances that a ranger can provide his companions in order to move more freely. Am I not correct in this matter?
Oh, you're correct.
Then
I'm more curious about this artifact that you're
its name is Plumerian the White Hammer.
sounds fancy.
It is a ancient dwarven hammer. Some say the first war hammer forged by the dwarves. It is a intelligent weapon, sentient, with its own understanding of time, the universe. If you were to bring it back to me, I would reward you greatly.
AP's trying to send me after a fucking demon weapon. Okay. Well, I mean, there's a little bit we have to do before then. I'm assuming, even though it's not under my land, probably a pretty good staging point to go after it. What are you promising in return here? Because this is probably going to be a pretty dangerous excursion.
What do you wish?
Well, I got a fuck ton of taxes to pay off.
I could provide you with some form of material wealth in exchange, although one would point out that the adventure itself will probably provide you with some not inconsiderate amount of money.
No, I mean, it's a good point. If we were to retrieve this hammer, I mean, how would we even get in contact with you to make this transaction?
You would bring it back to the desert and I would find you.
Right. Well, I mean, I'll certainly have to run it by my compatriots here. I mean, I'm not going to make a decision for a bunch of grown-ass men.
The place you are looking for is called the Caverns of Tethrock.
Caverns of Tethrock. Right. Okay.
Look over your shoulder. I'm like picking up Finley. He's like, "You sure you want me to throw you in there?"
It sounds like a made-up name anyway.
Just dwarf tossing is going on in the background.
You want me to yeet you in there? Is that what's happening?
Oh God, I forgot yeet was a canon now.
when Finley hits the water, I thought it turns to be like a really big sound.
Sounds like the 1812 Overture cannon fire when he hits the water, even though it's just a little splash.
Yeah.
Why does everyone think that this weapon is a demon weapon? It's cursed. He just
It's
said
called the White Hammer, and
Because
you find
it's a sentient weapon. That's what a demon weapon is in Warhammer. Anyway,
that's not a D&D thing. You can have good sentient weapons.
I know, but it's just, you know.
Not everything is Warhammer. I know you got Warhammer on the brain, buddy, but you gotta let it go.
Everything is Warhammer. Don't lie to me.
Not everything is Warhammer.
Shh.
You're the one that needs this shh. I wish to offer you a gift before you depart then, friend Ranger Dwarf.
Oh, yeah?
To you and to all of your friends. I have some magic that I can impart to all of you.
Don't say friendship.
It is not friendship indeed.
Well, nobody else can hear this conversation, right?
No, he suddenly started speaking loud enough so that everyone
okay.
could hear him.
Okay.
Please, gather around me, all of you. And he kind of like draws a semicircle in front of him and kind of like expects you all to toe the line there.
I mean,
We need to hold hands. Like, what's the deal here?
yeah, fuck it. I'll do it.
Yeah, we'll gather around.
Finley, hold my hand.
Okay.
Over many years of
That's gonna be
study,
hard to do. This is like
Let's hold one
reach
finger.
problem.
I have dedicated decades of my life towards improving the lives of others. I have developed a cantrip, a spell of great power. With it, one can overcome any amount of alcohol poisoning in the morning.
Oh,
You laugh, big man, but what if you could wake up and cast upon yourself recovery, so that you would not need to suffer loud noises or drink a lot of water?
What if you could be born a dwarf?
you know what? I like this wizard. I will accept your magic.
I tell you again, I am no wizard, but I will impart in each of your minds the ability to cast the spell at will.
You know what? Considering the last wizard type that we interacted with was a total asshole. Yeah, okay. You're pretty all right.
So he takes the bowl that Exus gave to him earlier, dips it in the water, and then walks back in front of you, drinks some of the water, and then spits it back into the bowl and says, each of you must drink from this.
Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Why not? I've probably eaten worse. I'll take it.
All right? You drink some of this dude's spit.
Sure.
Nobody else drinks it. The guy's like, wow, you're an idiot.
Look, man, we've been talking. They've talked to fucking demon thing. I mean, drinking some spit is not the worst thing that the party has done.
So he says, please, all of you must drink, please.
Does he like stifle a laugh? And,
Or is he just dead?
Make an insight check.
insights, it's flat.
I mean, man,
A 9? When you look at him, he seems to be unreadable, almost stone-faced.
you know how fucking magic users are. I mean, I'm telling, man.
Aardvark was pretty weird, but I wouldn't drink Aardvark's spit.
You know, someone posted a message saying that Aardvark was their favorite character, and I was like, yeah, no, wait, that's
okay.
bad.
They can be wrong.
There's always the NPC that someone latches on to, just like, this is the greatest.
Yeah, like Glebo.
Isn't that right, Finley?
What? Everyone loves Gleemo.
I
I'm on
like
a
Glebo, at
bandwagon.
least.
Oh, look, at least Glimo was interesting.
Can I also make an insight check to see whether or not the drinking spit is acceptable?
It's not about whether drinking spit is acceptable or not. It's whether or not this guy's laughing at you in the process.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that's 13. Do you?
You look at this guy. There is a very slight level of interest that he's looking at you with. He just seems to be. He's not smirking. He's not like, ha, got these bitches. But he is watching closely to just like check, are you drinking or not?
Fine. I'll drink your spittle, old man.
How did it taste, Kelly?
Sandy.
I'll take it, but I'll spit a little bit into it first as well and kind of like stir it up in my finger.
No, I'm just
I'll
swallowing.
say, sometimes I like to get high on my own supply, and I'll take a big old gulp.
What's great is that you're just doing that to Daka.
Why are you being a dick to Daka? Like, come on, man.
I feel like Daga's the most called out by this because, like,
Yeah, like,
hey,
why?
you want something that'll reduce your hangover?
Thought we were getting weird, man.
If I see Finley do that, I'm just like, no, thanks you.
Oh, it's
I'm
fine.
the only one that's been affected by hangovers really badly in this game.
Yeah, that's why it's funny that Finley spit in it and I'm not gonna take it.
So the man reaches his hand out and begins touching Agrim on the forehead, and then touches each of you on the forehead and stops before Daka and says, do you wish to accept this gift?
Come on, Daka, don't be a bitch.
I hold up the cup.
He says, no, the cup is unnecessary. It was just funny.
Oh.
Son of a bitch.
I just shrug.
I apologize. It's my nature to play small jokes.
Fucking wizards.
And that was a good one.
In Daka's head, there's like, Daka, Finley, Kelly, Agram, and Daka has like 1 point.
Agram will remember this.
Do you
Kelly
let him
Magrin.
touch you on the forehead, Daka?
Yeah, like I knew that was bullshit.
Okay, all of you have the ability now to, at will, cast Bisara's Wondrous Recovery. It allows you to overcome the effects of alcohol at any time.
Is this
Oh my
in
God.
the book at all?
It is not. It is a custom spell created for this campaign. I have to get it uploaded into
D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond.
Nice. So the spell combined with the Dwarven resistance thing. I am invincible.
So this is a cantrip specifically, yes?
Yep. Doesn't take a spell slot. You can just cast it anytime you want to.
Dudes, we need to find us a bar. We need to have a drinking contest. We're gonna make so much fucking money.
You forget about the entire week that I've got planned of just getting fucking.
Let's fast track that. Just get that to the front of the line. We got some money to make bets to do.
I believe Daka will be spending that week in a library.
As you're talking, he taps his staff along the ground. Sand rolls across all of you as a sandstorm comes by. And you, plus Exus, the Gygax, and the cart are all in the middle of the desert. There's no oasis in sight, nor is there any old man.
I want to go to the closest, I guess, high point dune and see if I can tell where we are. See if I see any ruins or anything.
Sure, make a perception check.
Perception
Make a
is-
survival check. Survival.
You got this.
25.
Yeah.
You are several miles closer to the
Six,
the
right?
Lion of the Sands than you were when you started.
Nice. I will relay that information to my comrades.
Consider it relayed.
Okay.
10
If you
for
guys
the
travel, you will make it to the oasis near the Lion of the Sands, hours before your supposed meeting with the spy trader. So
Interesting.
Exus just kind of asks, like, I'm sorry, I don't understand what my point is in all this. Am I staying with the cart?
Oh yeah, I mean,
And
I can
sorry,
sit
it's not a
in
cart,
one of
it's a
those.
wagon, and you have 2 horses for it.
Well, he was only here to help guide us to the place early, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, I mean,
But
Like,
he's
you can-
he's essentially joined your party at this point.
Yeah, I'm like
He's
you
basically
can,
killed for you.
you can wait by the gate and greet the monks when they get here.
The monks don't know to come here specifically, so I think that is a good idea.
well, look at it this way. If you're going to stay with the cart, you got to be willing to defend it.
So he like pulls out the knife that you gave him, and he's like, "I'm ready."
No knives. Come here, and I go into my backpack of sweat. What do I have here?
I can tell you what you don't have: a barrel of water.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna. It's like, all right. I have a great sword. I have this.
That just seems
warhammer.
pretty good.
Can you use a bow?
I have a glaive. If you'd like.
Oh,
a
I'll take
glaive.
that. That looks very cool.
Can you use a bow?
He's like, no.
Okay, then I ain't gonna. No, I'm keeping
Such
it.
things
myself.
require years of training.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Look, I just thought I was being polite. I thought I'd ask.
So
I
he
got a
takes the
spare.
glaive. He's like, I've been using a stick my entire life. I am a ferryman.
Well, just pointing in towards enemy. You're good to go.
Okay.
Welcome to the Brotherhood, my friend.
The Brotherhood of what?
Cart nuts.
One of us.
A warrior brotherhood.
So he's
thought
like,
that-
yes, the Brotherhood of Cartnuts. I am now a member.
That'll do.
Spread the word.
Semper Continuous. All right. So, I mean, I guess unless we just start making our way towards this meeting point.
Yeah, so
right?
there's like a small oasis in front of the Lion of the Sands. Several rocks are scattered around, and vegetation grows near whatever minerals come from the rocks. And there's a pool of water with a small island in the middle of it. There tracks abound. As you approach, all the animals in the area scatter: beetles, snakes, scorpions. There were some storks and a buzzard, and they all breeze away as your party rides in. So the Lion of the Sands is pretty big. I'd say it's 30 to 40 feet across. Each of its paws is like 10 foot by 10 foot in size and height. The lion itself rises about 50 feet.
So the actual like Sphinx, essentially, dimensions.
It's much smaller than the actual Sphinx.
Oh, okay.
The actual Sphinx is pretty big. And in between its paws is a series of stairs that lead down. Now, of course, you know it's not actually a lion, that it's a tiger. But yeah, it looks kind of abandoned at first glance, but when you check again, you notice that the stairs have all been swept, you know, if not in the last week, at least at some point. The lion appears to be in pretty good shape for what's almost certainly a multi-thousand-year-old structure. You know, it's intact. It's not clear if someone's in there right now, but certainly someone has been in there over the years.
How long ago was the last party of monks that were murdered here?
Several weeks.
So would there be any trace of...
In a desert? They would probably be eaten and gone very quickly.
Yeah.
Well, you said there was like a battle here specifically. What about the
Yes.
trees and the rocks and stuff like that?
What about them? Would you like to inspect them for
sign of-
signs of a battle?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
make
if
an
that is
investigation
all
check.
possible.
Is anyone else interested in getting involved in that check?
Yeah, I'll hop in on that.
Now I have a soldier thing. Can that help in any way?
You mean a soldier background?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you take advantage on this.
Okay. Investigation, right? Yeah.
I want to do something when he's done.
Wow,
All right.
220s.
Which role do you want to take?
Fucking finger.
Finley and
Finger
Kelly,
guns are-
you look over the area and it's part Princess Bride, part Boondock Saints, where he's like, there was a firefight.
Oh my god, I love that.
The two of
scene
you
so
work
much.
out exactly how it goes down, like where the lizard folk popped out of the sands and fired arrows from. You notice the scratch marks from like 3-week-old like arrow sliver that hit a rock and then deflected.
Very much the David Cage game, like walk over, press left bumper, and you can see the hologram of like what happened.
I was gonna
when
go
you
more like fucking Sherlock Holmes, you know?
Oh, yeah.
when you investigate, you find like skeletons that are half buried in the sand that have already been completely picked clean of any eatable material. It looks like mold is already growing out of them.
Wow. Okay. So now I got a crit on this, like a double crit. So I
Yes.
feel like it's worthwhile me asking.
Mhm.
The monks have been assaulted, like different groups of monks have been assaulted multiple times in this spot, correct?
Yes.
Is there any sign that, like, I mean, there's a sign of the previous time, but what about a time before that? Did they use the
No,
exact same
that's all
tactic?
gone.
Okay. Yeah.
You do know that the lizard folk appear to bury themselves in the sand and like use reeds to get oxygen from the surface and then like pop out with waiting weapons and, you know.
Just walk up to the sword and start shaking the sand every time you see a little reed.
Do some Attack on Titan level shit. Just tap
Walk
on the
over
wall
to
with
your
the
reed,
sword.
Plug
What's
the
up, bro?
top- Just like plug the top of one. It's like the sand starts like.
Is there a way that we could emulate this, like ambush and ambush? Yeah, interesting.
You have 2 rangers who could probably get you cut reeds without any problems, and you got a shovel. You guys
you
could
guys-
set up a trap here and just wait
I mean-
beneath the desert sands and then pop up and be like, surprise, bitch!
Surprise, motherfuckers! I mean, Kelly's the least stealthy out of all of us. So, I mean, if anybody's going to be buried for that, it's going to be him.
What are you going to do with Gygax?
We'll leave him in the wagon, I guess. What?
He's an
So are
ant.
you suddenly like, okay, we'll do this, but give me a sec. I need to spend 20 minutes going back to the wagon to drop Gygax off at daycare.
I mean, I'd bring him with me.
Okay, you're going to bury him in the sand.
I mean, his little head can stick out. an ant. Like, why would it be weird?
I was gonna
that
say,
they-
there's no problem with burying him in the sand. He's an ant. He's the one that'll live.
Yeah, exactly.
So is this the plan then? You guys are gonna set yourselves into a ambushing position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, show me on the map where you set up at.
Now, where did they set up in the last battle?
Okay, so they set up in the following positions. So they put guys here, 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 and here.
Okay.
How tall are these
Maybe-
rocks and stuff? Are they taller than the previous?
So the rocks here are all like a foot or two tall. There are two statues of lizard folk. They're about 8 feet tall. The vegetation does not rise very high either. It's kind of flat and spreads itself out as much as possible to catch water.
So like viable hiding spots are like here, here, back here somewhere. If you're lying down over here.
I mean,
just
look, as far as viable hiding spots go, you guys are skilled enough to hide anywhere here. As far as I'm concerned, you guys could all hide in the pool of water.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
It's like Navy, or like, what was that movie? Zero Dark 30 or whatever?
Just Navy SEALs, dude, just come up with a crossbow. Before we do that, I'd wanted to, just for giggles, I wanted a stone cutting check. I want to see if I could tell how old the tiger was.
Okay.
So it's
That's a dwarven thing, right?
Yep, it's a history check. I get double proficiency for determining the origin of stonework.
Fantastic. So you are checking Tegros's tiger. Are you going inside, or are you just looking around the outside of it?
I'm just inspecting the let's say artistry, the masonry. Just seeing compared to other old shit I know. I guess just trying to get an idea. I'm just curious.
So you suspect that this thing is probably at least 2,000 years old. You're working your hand over it. This is definitely elven stone crafting. It's not shoddy work, but it definitely won't stand the test of time.
It's just old.
Yeah, it's old. The stone that it's made out of, you're not super familiar with it. It almost looks as if someone has magically reinforced it. It could just be sand blocks that have been like magically stuck together. But on the other hand, it's much better than what you would suspect of any other race. And in fact, it's questionable whether any modern race could recreate this kind of building material.
Yeah. So it's definitely
like when you were in the human lands, you didn't see anything that could survive for 2,000 years beyond some rocks.
I'll tell Dokken because he'll probably find it kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the deal here? Are we joining together to fight these things, or do you want to separate out?
I think given how it went last time, we should probably stick a little closer than we were.
Yeah, we should be probably a little closer, but still be able to get a decent.
Because if they've got those lizard things that they were riding before, those things fucked us up.
Well, if they're also planning on doing the little hiding thing, I mean.
All right. Well, how about this? Me and Finley will team up, and you two team up.
Do that.
That works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess
I should be at a bit of a distance from you, though, I would think, right? Just so I can get that
Well, you can hide better.
bonus damage.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to use your bow and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you'd be daggering it up if you're with me.
I mean, if I have to, I will, but
Maybe like over here for me and Agram, just so like we're not all the way across the map from them.
Yeah, we just want a little bit of distance, not super far.
Well, I mean, that's where they dug last time over here. There was like two over here.
mhm.
Yeah.
But we're here.
There's also one over here and one down here.
Over here.
But if we're here before them, like
Well, you guys go where you want to go, Kelly, and then we'll position off of you.
Okay.
Because they came from the northeast into the east, right?
Oh no, they're everywhere right now.
Oh,
my
they
thinking is they're actually coming out of here because the wizard dude said like this is where they're holed up. And why would they bring the monks all the way out here? Like, they would just kill them in the middle of the desert. Why would they bring them here? Unless, like, this is where they're hidden, they're hanging out.
Okay.
I'm gonna hide out behind this rock.
Yeah, I think we all hang out around here. What do you think around the oasis?
Yeah, sure. It works.
Okay.
Now, are we all like hiding in the water? Like, what's the deal there?
No, I'm
Are we hiding under the ground?
I'm
I've,
probably like,
I've stealthed into non-existence.
Okay.
Yeah, I might, because I'm shorter. I mean, we've got what, a couple hours, right?
yeah.
I'm gonna dig a foxhole if Kelly will let me borrow his shovel.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that seems like I'm short
Me
enough,
shovel, you shovel. Yeah.
and then I could just, essentially crouch down in the foxhole, and as soon as we start this shit show, just pop up and fire.
So is everyone where they want to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I need everyone to make stealth rolls at advantage, except for Kelly, who makes him at regular because he's at disadvantage in his armor.
Roger.
20.
Okay, Kelly,
That was close.
you believe that you are well hidden.
Yeah, I'm like Pink Panther up in this bitch.
Nothing like
Like,
you believe. You're just standing there thinking you're invisible.
It's like sitting there cross-legged with like dirt on you.
He just has a Vegas sign behind him that says "Orc here."
I'm pretending to be a corpse.
At that point, Daka and Agrim come out of their holes and take your plate mail and like shove it beneath the sands where it was super exposed and cover you in some soil so that you don't look so fucking conspicuous. Then silently get back in their holes and cover themselves.
We got these ferns and stuff too. I mean, we get through.
Yeah,
those.
sure.
Get out.
You turn them
Kelly's
into a
just-
plant.
Kelly's just standing near the end of his end of the oasis with his eyes closed. Is like, I can't see them. They can't see me.
I've perfected the art of staying perfectly still.
No, man, you
mean-
got to go all the way back to Mystery Men, where he's like, "I'm only invisible when no one's looking at me,
And I'm naked.
and I'm naked."
God, that movie. Holy shit.
Yeah, man.
What's your
He fell down an elevator
Throw
shaft
spoon.
onto some bullets.
I need to watch that again. Good God. That was
No, this time I'm not joking. I'm really angry. I feel like Mystery Man is the cornerstone that created modern superhero movies.
It
They're
has to
so
be.
fucking
Like-
weird.
Uh,
All right, so you all wait in the sand, kind of uncomfortably entombed. After about an hour, you hear a screeching noise, and a brass wyvern drops from the sky, lands on the island, and begins lapping up the water. But because you're all so well hidden, it doesn't notice you, finishes drinking, and then takes off. An hour after that, a man approaches on a camel and leaves the camel tied up near Kelly's position, and then stands around and just begins speaking to himself in Eastall.
Who is this?
So he's wearing a sash over his head and like all white robes, with a little tan scarf. He's very, very tanned, almost dark skinned. He's got a goatee and like a silver short sword that's in a cloth wrap at his belt.
Is the white cloth the same as the lizard folk?
It's definitely different than the lizard folk that you have met so far.
So this isn't our trader.
It's unclear, right? Because you have no idea what the trader looks like, essentially.
Yeah. And Nexus didn't give us really anything.
But Exus has never met the man.
I mean, essentially, I think the best plan of action is just to wait, and then
yeah.
he's still here, and then these dudes show up, and they, whatever. If we see him talking, then they will know. Okay, that's the guy. I don't want to like fucking murder some random dude who's just taking a drink or whatever.
Yeah.
So after about 20 minutes, as you're waiting, I need all of you to make disadvantage perception checks because, of course, you can't see very well, and your only real source of information is hearing.
Don't one of us have like advantage
11,
on
13,
hearing?
11. These are actually pretty good so far.
Perception. I thought there was like some of us had like advantage on hearing stuff. Like it came from a background.
I've got
Just
older
make your
stuff,
check.
so-
So far, they've been pretty decent for disadvantage.
All right. Sorry. Perception.
Yep. Okay. Agrim, you're the only one that understands what's being talked about. Someone approaches and you all can feel it through the ground as a enormous lizard, like a dire version, approaches. On its back, and it in itself is about 15 to 20 feet long and is pure black with red stripes down it, and it has an enormous like cobra hood. A lizard man who's about twice as tall as a normal lizard man. He's almost 10 feet tall. It looks like he's got to weigh at least 800 pounds. All of it muscle, like super sinewy, bulging veins. He is also black-skinned with a hood and with like red markings on his face. From where you are at, it's not clear whether they're paint or whether that's his actual coloration. He slides down the back of the lizard, which takes a snap at him, and he punches the lizard in the nose, and it kind of backs off, and he approaches and begins speaking Draconic with the man, and he goes, Kunosh, come, now. Where are the monks? And Kunosh says, I don't know. They haven't arrived yet. Don't worry about it. We'll do it the same as always. Now we will take down Lord Tongsangwei and put our man in the business. Then we can begin to rot away at the foundations of the society. Destroy them from within. Lord Belial, you are so wise. And the man he's talking to, the lizard man, says, do not call me Lord Belial. It is disrespectful.
How close are they to us? Or do we
Either
have an
speak
idea?
of me as Belial, the Lizard King, or call me by my true name. And he says, Lizard King Belial he is then. I would never disrespect you, my lord. You could go and have your troops ready. I'm sure that the fools will come on foot once again to surround them with horse archers, or lizard archers in this case. Do not worry, we will wipe them away like the desert sands. Stealth is not necessary in this case. They are fools, and they are old and weak. I know of this son Shitar. He is pathetic.
Did we have like some sort of like thing, like a something where we would all pop into action if like someone gave the signal or something like that?
I don't
Maybe
remember you discussing that, so no.
Who's closest to me?
So both of these individuals are at the edge of the water here on the north side.
And where's the giant lizard?
Also in that general area, but it's so giant it takes up a 3x3 space.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Whoa, 3x3?
Yes.
Can't miss that, bitch.
Who's closest to me of our?
I mean, we all seem to be fairly in the same area.
Yeah, we're all
Kelly's
the same kind of
closest.
area.
Yeah. Do we wait for the monks to get here, or do we just go ahead and start the shit show?
There's only one dude right now, even though he's big and has got a big ass lizard. That might be better than a team.
Well, I'd like to ideally drop the traitor in one go.
I don't know if I don't know if we want to kill him. If like we can kill him.
We
and
can kill the Lizard King, dude. We're good.
Oh yeah.
if we can knock the traitor out, because I think delivering the traitor might give us a little bit more leniency in town.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to try and bolt, though. But yeah, I mean, I'm all for trying to ambush this Lizard King dude and just, you know.
Well, you're the only one that can understand anything. So if anyone has to initiate something, it has
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, obviously once I jump
Agram
up,
Super Mario is out of the ground. It's a me. Everybody else pops out of the ground like Luigi.
She jumps up in slow motion, does the splits with the crossbow, and just like
I gotta figure out what surprise motherfucker is in Draconic and then go for that.
some fries, motherfucker. Applies, motherfucker.
Some fries, motherfucker.
Short size,
No lies. No
Hard
lies.
eyes, motherfucker. Yeah.
All
Well.
rise, motherfucker.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's
Damn
take our
lies, motherfucker.
midpoint break, and then Agram can figure out whether he wants to kick the party off or not.
Cute.
All right.
We'll be back in about 8 minutes to pressure Atomic to make a decision for the entire party by himself.
Well,
Enjoy the break music, enjoy the break art, and we enjoy your presence here, people watching. We'll be back shortly. Don't blow a kiss at them.